Welcome to Energy and Personal Excellence. This is Sachin Karnik. This recording today is on chasing losses in gambling activity and gambling addiction specifically. In the activity of gambling, there is a phenomenon known as chasing or chasing losses. What does that mean? Let's just take, for example, a slot machine. Somebody puts $5 in a slot machine and they lose the $5. Then they put another $5, they lose that $5. They're trying to get their money back. That's called chasing losses, right? So this kind of chase continues in the mind of a addicted gambler particularly, but it can happen in just about anyone. And that chasing losses occurs because it is an attempt to win back the lost money. That's the bottom line. And that possibility does exist when a person has lost money gambling. Now, the feeling that occurs within the mental and physical system, within the mind, and then of course the reactions in the physical body are very important to understand. They're critical to understand because when money is lost gambling, there is a type of uneasiness, a type of there's a sense of loss, of obviously, but there's a sense that this has been taken away from me, and then the ego function becomes active to try to get that back, and the possibility of getting it back occurs with just the next bet. So even from a Freudian point of view, or other theorists who talk about the human ego, the ego is the sense of me. There's a sense of me that I have lost something and I want to get it back, and I don't like how I feel when I've lost it. So nobody wants to lose money gambling or in any other way. And if it's lost, then it's a dysphoric feeling. Now, money won feels pretty good. There's a sense of euphoria, pleasure, escape. So many things, different kinds of emotions are there, and that is sought after relentlessly in the mind of a problem gambler. And specifically, it is sought after, when higher wins happen, then that experience of the higher win is sought after again and again. I think that's fairly easy to understand. But the phenomenon of chasing losses is, in my opinion, is the central problem in gambling addiction. If that didn't happen, there would not be anything like gambling addiction or a gambling problem or any such thing. Again, this process of chasing losses, this occurs in other areas within one's life also. It's just a matter of being able to recognize, that when losses occur, how they're chased. But in gambling specifically, this phenomenon of chasing is unique to gambling only. There is similarity in other addictions and other areas. So someone who is chasing the high, that's not chasing a loss, but it's chasing a high. You can use the word chasing that way. But specifically, even according to DSM-5, as well as many other research areas in problem gambling, this phenomenon of chasing is, very well studied, and it's the problem. I mean, in my opinion, it is the central problem actually, because if that didn't happen, if people were able to maintain loss limits and not create trouble for themselves financially and in other ways, there would not be such an issue. Now, because this chasing is so intense, there is damage that accumulates within the system. So let's say someone has lost $1,000 and they don't have any more money. They go home and they, gamble again. Maybe they've even earned the $1,000 back, but they gamble again. If that happens, then in their mind, in their memory system, there's that loss of the $1,000 that's recorded, that's permanently there. So they're trying to get that back also, whether they know it or not, whether it's conscious or not. They're still trying to get that thing back, and usually try to get it back the way it was lost, maybe through a slot machine, a table game, but lottery, whatever it was, because the losses are painful. So the point that is being made here in today's contemplative recording is to recognize the pain of loss, and that pain of losing is not remembered usually. Very difficult to remember, if not nearly impossible. And it's not remembered because the brain is not set up that way. It's not set up to really remember pain very well. It's set up to remember the euphorias, the good times, the high, because that is what is part of the survival reward circuitry. So there's a neurological basis. But the remembering of the pain, the remembering of that devastation, of the uneasiness, to be able to do that is very hard. But to recognize that that can happen and to prevent that from happening is true prevention in relapses. But it's again, when the forces come about to continue that activity, or to start that activity or restart the activity, that remembering of the potential pain is not in the mind, and a person doesn't experience that pain until they experience it, and then they're remembered, and then they're reminded that, oh, I've experienced this before. How the heck did I do this again? And that's the prison of a gambling addiction. So the prison of a gambling addiction occurs, or is activated, or a person moves into the prison of gambling addiction by the pain that is experienced, and that pain is so severe they want to stop the pain. And in the mind of the problem gambler, the way to stop that pain is to win back the lost money, and that will stop it. And actually, if a person does win back all their lost money, that will stop that pain. That cannot be denied. But it doesn't stop the gambling addiction. It'll just enhance it further. Then a person tries to go further and further and further to try to open a fantasy door. It's a fantasy door into an endless stream of wins, just to go further and further and further. It's not possible. It's an illusion of control. Many maladaptive defenses pop up. All kinds of cognitive and behavioral fallacies pop up. So keeping all that in mind, it is meditatively necessary, is particularly as part of the Energy and Personal Excellence program, to recognize the damage to one's energy structure, damage to money, damage to emotions, the damage that is experienced when losses occur. There's a massive loss of energy, which is mental energy and physical energy, of course financial energy. All of that is lost, and then that can lead to severe depression, suicidality, and it can lead to a massive degradation and open up various mental health problems. So this is today's contemplation on chasing losses with gambling addiction. Any questions, comments, opinions, thoughts about this can be emailed to me at sachinkarnik@yahoo.com or personal.excellence1008@gmail.com, or you can always text me 302-268-4480. You're welcome to continue this process in dialogue. Dialogue is a process of exploration and contemplation for energy revitalization, energy growth, energy integration. So on that basis, we want to progress ahead. Thank you.